Well, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Many of you have been watching those feel-good holiday movies to get in the spirit of the joyful season. Of course, Hallmark Channel, famous for all their Christmas movies. Joining us in studio now, an award-winning screenwriter currently living in Savannah. He's created, well, they said several on here. Rick Garman is with us. Not just several, 43 different Hallmark movies.
Not all for Hallmark, for different channels, Great American Family and Lifetime and other channels, but mainly for Hallmark. Not all Christmas movies.
I know, I guess the Hallmark movie is what it's become now. It's sort of the name. When you're putting these out there for whoever they may be, what is sort of that hook? What do you try to do?
Well, you want to make them happy. That's what people are looking for in these movies. It's the time of year. People want comfort and joy, pun intended. So you want to make sure that there's nobody's going to die. There's not going to be anything horrible happening. So as long as they are happy and fill people with joy, that's the main thing you want to go for. And
you have to come up with various ways to include winter in it and Christmas in it and various things. I know you have Candy Cane Lane is one of them, several others like that too.
There's a lot of them that you always have to find the ways of doing Christmas and then trying to do it different for every single movie. There's only so many times they can bake cookies, so.
Is that a challenge for you? I mean, obviously, people say, oh, they're somewhat formulaic, but you have to come up with a different way to understand the story.
Absolutely. I spent a lot of time on the internet looking at what people do for Christmas, like fun games or new traditions that I can find a way to work into the script so it's not the same thing every single time.
And it really started sort of years ago with just a few, and you said now it's a cottage industry to itself for all these people, and the number of movies they make is pretty incredible.
Yeah, Hallmark alone makes over 40 new Christmas movies every year, and then when you add in all the other channels, Netflix and Hulu and Lifetime, there's a lot of them getting made out there.
I know it keeps you busy and it keeps you employed, which is good. Do you still enjoy them, though, making these movies?
I do. I've said it before, but these movies make people happy. And the movies I've made have been seen by tens of millions of people. So who gets to say in their job that they've made millions of people happy? That's a great feeling.
I'd hope I can say that. I don't think we quite made it yet.
Maybe. But, you never know.
But, you were talking about one recently that you've been writing to, the Cherry Lane series. Tell me a little bit about that.
So there's 4 movies. One was on last year, and then we've got 3 new sequels to it. It's the same house on Christmas Eve, but in different time periods. So it goes from 1951 all the way to 2024 with all these different families and different stories that intersect with each other, and you find out how they're all related as the movies unfold.
So when you're in Christmas now, do you start taking notes as you're going through with family members to go, maybe I should do this instead?
I've often said that my Christmas usually comes in June because that's when I'm listening to the Christmas carols to get myself in the mood when it's 98 degrees outside. To be able to write the movies. By the time we get to Christmas, my job's done. So Christmas is kind of over by the time we get to actual Christmas.
And very, very briefly, you've got a Performing Arts Festival coming up in February. We're going to bring you back on to talk about that, but it's bringing everybody together in Savannah.
Yes, in February 10th through the 22nd at the Cultural Arts Center. 2 weeks of programming, including a fully staged production of A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, the Tony Award-winning musical.
All right, we're going to make it through Christmas first. Then we'll start talking about February from there.
Yes.
Rick Garman, thank you so much, and keep making those movies. Everybody's watching, so we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Brian, to you.